If you do this, you will never have money problems again. Mark Zuckerberg. Imagine living a life without financial worries, without stressing about bills, without losing nights of sleep thinking about money. Now think about the opposite. Millions of people around the world live exactly the opposite. They work hard, they save, they follow the rules of the traditional financial game, and yet they never manage to escape the cycle of scarcity. What's wrong? Mark Zuckerberg, one of the richest men on the planet, followed a completely different path. He understood something that goes against everything you've been taught about money, success, and wealth. He followed a principle so powerful that if you apply it to your life, you may never have financial problems again. And no, this doesn't mean creating a billion-dollar company or being a technology genius. What he did can be replicated in any field. Just understand the mechanism behind your fortune. The mentality that few understand about money. Zuckerberg never saw money as an end, but rather as a means to something greater. From an early age, he understood that true wealth was not just in the bank balance, but in the ability to create something that would generate global impact. His thought was simple. Money is a tool, not a goal. This vision changes everything. Think about it. Most people work to make money and then spend it all on immediate comfort, while the richest see money as a resource to expand their influence and create long-term value. This is a big financial mistake of the majority, wanting to get rich looking rich instead of build real wealth. Zuckerberg never needed to show off sports cars, designer clothes, or lavish mansions. He reinvests in projects that expand your influence and ensure continuous growth. The secret to wealth is in construction, not in immediate profit. Mark Zuckerberg followed a single rule unwaveringly: build first, monetize later. While most people try to make money before even offering anything of value, he did the opposite. When he created Facebook, his initial focus, it wasn't about making billions, but rather create a product that people love and use daily. The result? One of the most profitable companies in the world. This same concept applies to any area. Anyone who wants to invest needs to understand the game before thinking about profits. This means study the best ways to invest money, choose solid assets, and think about long-term instead of looking for quick and risky gains. The lesson here is simple. Real wealth comes from strategic patience. The mistake most people make is looking for shortcuts, miracle formulas, and instant profits. But those who really build wealth think in a way strategic and disciplined. The power of absolute focus. Another big difference for Zuckerberg was your absolute focus. He never tried to do 1,000 things at once. From the beginning, it placed all your energy on Facebook, refusing distractions and side opportunities. This also applies to your finances. Many people try to invest on several fronts without mastering any of them. Result? They waste money and time. The secret is in choose a path and delve into it. This philosophy became evident when Zuckerberg refused billion-dollar offers to sell Facebook. Companies like Yahoo and Microsoft tried to buy him, but he held firm. While many would have accepted the money and moved on to another project, he saw the long term. If you want to build wealth, you need to follow the same logic. Invest consistently on a solid strategy, instead of jumping from trend to trend. Who focuses on a plan and performs with discipline have much more chances of success. Simplify your life to generate more results. Mark Zuckerberg simplified his life as much as possible to maintain full focus, not that it really matters. He uses the same clothes every day, he follows predictable routines and eliminates unnecessary decisions. The fewer distractions, more energy you have for what really matters. This strategy can be applied directly to your financial life. Eliminate useless expenses. Automate your investments. Simplify your choices. After all, success is not in how many decisions you make, but in make the right decisions and maintain consistency. The big lesson. Money follows those who solve problems. Mark Zuckerberg didn't create Facebook just to make money. He created because he saw a need that no one was meeting. At first, it was a simple project to connect Harvard students, but it quickly has become essential for millions of people. The big lesson here is, money always follows those who solve real problems. If you want to prosper financially, you need. Identify opportunities before most and offer solutions that have value. This applies to both business and investment. Think about it. How many people fail financially because they try to sell something that they find interesting, but that no one really wants or needs? Zuckerberg did the opposite. He observed people's behavior, noticed an unmet demand, and created something that fit perfectly into the market. This principle also applies to those who want to invest better. Instead of following random tips or fads, the ideal is to analyze what the market really values and invest based on solid foundations. If you understand this, you start to see finances in a completely different way. You stop looking for magical solutions and start applying principles that really work. Let's reveal how Zuckerberg scaled his fortune to billions and how you can apply the same strategies to transform your financial life. Stay tuned. The scalability strategy: how to turn an idea into a fortune. Mark Zuckerberg found out scale your solution to the world. Many people have good ideas, but few manage to turn them into something great. Facebook was structured to be simple to use and addictive. The more users joined, the more valuable the platform became. If you want to build wealth, you need to learn to generate income in a scalable way, without depending exclusively on your time and effort. Digital businesses allow unlimited sales at low costs. Asset investments make money work for you. Passive income sources guarantee earnings without your active presence. The lesson is clear. Those who learn to make money in a scalable way accelerate wealth growth. The power of reinvestment. Since Facebook's early years, Zuckerberg has avoided excessive withdrawals and used the profits to expand the company. Who learns to reinvest instead of spending accelerates asset growth. Instead of spending on luxuries, Zuckerberg reinvested in his own business. Those who reinvest dividends in the financial market see their portfolio grow with the compound interest. Reinvesting also means improved knowledge. Zuckerberg hired the best minds to keep Meta at the top. Money should work for you, not the other way around. Creating a self-feeding ecosystem. Zuckerberg expanded his company by creating an ecosystem of interconnected platforms. He bought Instagram and WhatsApp to ensure absolute dominance in the digital sector. This concept also applies to building wealth. Diversify investments so that one protects the other. Seek complementary sources of income to increase your financial security. Multiply your income with royalties, dividends, or licensing. When Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion, many criticized. Today, it is clear that it was a brilliant move. The same goes for your financial life. Structure a solid system to ensure constant growth. Persistence, the difference of billionaires. Zuckerberg showed that persistence is worth more than genius. Before Facebook, MySpace and Orkut dominated. But he insisted until he turned his idea into an empire. In the financial world, it's the same. Those who give up at the first obstacle never get rich. Zuckerberg faced crises, lawsuits, and pressure from investors, but maintained focus on long-term vision. The lesson is simple. Persistence separates the amateurs from the real winners. Those who learn from mistakes and continue playing prosper. Now that you understand how Mark Zuckerberg grew his fortune, let's reveal the secret strategy that guaranteed its market dominance. Stay tuned. Absolute control. How Zuckerberg guaranteed his power. From the beginning, Mark Zuckerberg structured his company in a way that gave him absolute power about Facebook. While many startups end up losing control when seeking investors, he assured that he would have the final say in all decisions. This was possible because he divided the company's shares into two categories: shares with high voting power for him, common stocks for investors. Even if someone bought billions in Facebook shares, it would not have enough influence to take him out of command. In the world of finance, this strategy teaches a fundamental principle. Those who delegate control of their own money too much end up being held hostage by others. If you outsource your finances to banks and managers without knowledge, you may pay a high price. If you blindly follow advice from others, you may jeopardize your financial growth. Having autonomy over your choices allows you to act quickly and seize opportunities before others. Strategy vision, always one step ahead. If Zuckerberg had stopped at Facebook as he was in 2004, the company would have already been forgotten. His biggest difference was understanding that the world changes fast and that those who don't adapt are left behind. The best example of this was his bet on Instagram and not WhatsApp. He noticed that young people were moving to new platforms, and instead of resisting change, he bought the change. This lesson is worth gold for those who invest. The financial market is always evolving. If you don't update, you lose money. Who learns about new trends like cryptocurrencies, artificial intelligence, and new business models will always be one step ahead. Anyone who insists on outdated methods runs the risk of being left behind. Investment in your own knowledge. Zuckerberg invests heavily in his own learning. He has already revealed that read books on different topics and surround yourself with the best minds to expand your vision. This teaches you something powerful. Wealth is not just in money, but in the knowledge that allows you to multiply it. If you want financial freedom, you need to make a habit of studying. If you want to improve your investments, you need to test new strategies. If you want to grow in the market, you need to adapt to changes. The next step, mastering the future. Zuckerberg is not just one of the richest men in the world. He is shaping the future of technology and the digital economy. Your billion-dollar investment in Metaverso shows that he is already betting on the next big revolution. If this gamble pays off, he could dominate the next stage of the internet, just as he did with social media. What can we learn from this? Those who see before most reap the greatest rewards. Great opportunities arise for those who identify trends before others. Anyone who wants to build wealth needs to develop this strategic vision and act before the crowd. Now that you understand how Zuckerberg protected his empire and continues to shape the future, let's reveal how you can apply these principles to change your own financial life. Stay tuned. Absolute control. How Zuckerberg guaranteed his power. From the beginning, Mark Zuckerberg structured his company in a way that gave him absolute power. Even after the entry of billionaire investors, he maintained full control over Meta's decisions. This prevented his vision from being compromised and ensured he could make bold decisions without relying on shareholder approval. In the world of personal finance, this strategy teaches something essential. Those who control their financial decisions are much more likely to build wealth. Relying on third parties to manage your money can be a fatal mistake. Those who have financial autonomy can act quickly and take advantage of opportunities before others. Having clarity about your investments prevents your assets from being vulnerable to external decisions. Zuckerberg secured his position by creating actions with differentiated decision-making power. Even if someone bought billions in Meta shares, they still wouldn't have enough voice to remove him from command. This model ensured its full autonomy. The importance of constantly reinventing yourself. If Mark Zuckerberg had stopped at Facebook as he was in 2004, the company would have already been forgotten. He understood that the world changes fast, and those who don't adapt are left behind. He bet on Instagram and WhatsApp after noticing the change in user behavior. His vision for the metaverse shows that he is always one step ahead. Continuous learning allowed him to anticipate trends and avoid crises. In the world of finance, the same principle applies. Those who don't keep up to date are left behind. The market changes, new opportunities arise, and those who follow these changes have competitive advantage. Zuckerberg's legacy. Impact above money. Mark Zuckerberg has not only amassed one of the largest fortunes in the world, but he has also left a lasting impact on technology and social behavior. The lesson here is not just in the money he accumulated, but in the impact he left. In the world of finance, those who think long-term build a lasting legacy. Money is a consequence of creating something valuable. Thinking beyond the short term allows you to make strategic decisions. Building a legacy means investing in the future before others. Now that we understand how Zuckerberg consolidated his empire and secured his position, the big question arises: how can you apply these principles to change your own financial life? How to apply Zuckerberg's lessons to your financial life now? That you understand the strategies that made Mark Zuckerberg accumulate billions, the most important question arises: how to apply these principles to your financial life? The first fundamental lesson is, take absolute control of your money. Relying on others to manage your finances can be a fatal mistake. Having knowledge and autonomy about where and how to invest is essential for building sustainable wealth. 1. Create a scalable income source. Zuckerberg didn't build his fortune by exchanging time for money, but rather by creating a system that grows without depending on his daily effort. To replicate this model, invest in digital businesses that can be automated. Look for sources of passive income such as stocks that pay dividends, real estate, or royalties. Build something that can be multiplied without the need for constant presence. 2. Reinvest your earnings. One of the biggest advantages of billionaires is strategic reinvestment. Zuckerberg didn't withdraw large amounts early on from Facebook. Instead, he invested in improving the platform and acquiring new companies. If you receive dividends, reinvest to accelerate the growth of your assets. Avoid spending money on unnecessary luxuries before consolidating your financial independence. Prioritize investments that bring exponential returns over time. 3. Identify opportunities before the majority. The ability to anticipate trends was one of Zuckerberg's biggest differentiators. He realized the potential of social networks before they became essential to the world. Monitor the market and study emerging trends. Invest in innovative sectors that can grow exponentially. Always be one step ahead to maximize your chances of success. 4. Stay focused and disciplined. Zuckerberg turned down several billion-dollar offers because he knew that, in the long term, maintaining control of Facebook was the smartest decision. This discipline is crucial for any investor. Define a clear financial strategy and follow it without taking risky shortcuts. Don't abandon promising investments just because of small fluctuations in the market. Build your wealth with patience and consistency. 5. Develop a long-term mentality. Great investors know that wealth is not built overnight. Zuckerberg's journey proves that thinking about the future is more profitable than seeking immediate gains. Choose investments that can grow and bear fruit over the years. Don't get carried away by temporary financial fads. Focus on building a solid and sustainable heritage. Now that you know the financial principles that helped Mark Zuckerberg build his empire, it's up to you to decide. Will you apply these concepts and transform your financial life, or will you continue following the same failed strategies of the past? Absolute control, the key to financial mastery. Mark Zuckerberg never gave up absolute control about Facebook, ensuring that strategic decisions were always in your hands. From the beginning, he structured the company in a way that gave him full power, even after the entry of billionaire investors. This principle applies directly to your finances. Those who delegate control of their own money too much end up at the mercy of others. Zuckerberg divided the company's shares into two categories, one for investors and another that gives him greater decision-making power. This means that even if someone buys billions worth of Meta shares, will not have enough power to remove him from command. The lesson here is clear. Always have autonomy over your financial decisions. If you hand over your financial life to banks, managers, or friends without solid knowledge, you could pay a high price in the future. The importance of constant adaptation. If Zuckerberg had stopped at Facebook as he was in 2004, the company would have been forgotten. His secret was understanding that the world changes quickly, and those who don't adapt are left behind. He invested in Instagram and WhatsApp when he realized that young people were migrating from Facebook. When it saw the growth of TikTok, it responded by strengthening Reels and other video tools. Your bet on the metaverse could shape the digital future before the world realizes its importance. The financial lesson here is fundamental. Those who don't learn and constantly update themselves lose opportunities and are held hostage by market changes. The power of continuing education. Zuckerberg invests heavily in his own learning, reading books on different topics, and surrounding himself with the most brilliant minds in the world. Anyone who wants financial freedom must cultivate the habit of studying investments, business, and economics. Well-applied knowledge translates into smarter and more profitable decisions. Wealth is not just in money, but in the knowledge that allows you to multiply it. Who adapts and constantly educates themselves is always one step ahead, thinking no future before everyone. Mark Zuckerberg isn't just accumulating wealth. He is shaping the future of technology. Your billion-dollar investment in the metaverse could be the next big digital revolution, just like social networks were in the past. The big lesson here is, money follows those who spot trends before most. In the financial world, this means monitoring emerging sectors and diversifying your investments. Those who are always attentive to new opportunities build wealth before most people realize the value of these changes. Now that you understand how Zuckerberg thinks about money and strategy, one question remains. What are you going to do with this knowledge? The decision is in your hands. You can continue following the traditional path, or you can apply these principles and transform your financial reality. What will be your choice? Zuckerberg's legacy. The mentality that transforms lives. Mark Zuckerberg has not only accumulated wealth, he shaped the digital world and established a legacy that goes beyond money. His success was not the result of chance, but of mindset and strategies he consistently applied over the years. The big question now is, how can you apply these lessons to your financial life and transform your future? Money is a consequence, not an objective. Zuckerberg never pursued wealth just for the money itself. His focus has always been on creating something innovative, solve real problems, and add value to millions of people. In the world of finance, this means that money always follows those who solve big problems. Billionaires don't think about how to make money quickly, they think about how to build something lasting. Those who only seek money, without a clear strategy, are unlikely to prosper in the long term. Lesson: stop chasing money and start thinking about how to create value and solve real problems. Money will come as a consequence. Long-term vision. The differential of the rich. The biggest difference between the rich and the poor is the ability to think long-term. Zuckerberg could have sold Facebook for billions of dollars, but he preferred to expand and consolidate his market position. Many investors make the mistake of seeking immediate profits instead of building sustainable wealth. The secret of wealth is in making decisions that have a positive impact over the years, not just in the moment. Lesson: if you want to get rich, you need to learn to think like a builder, not a gambler. The power of anticipating trends. If there is one thing that separates the biggest billionaires from the rest of the world, it is the ability to identify opportunities before most. Zuckerberg saw the potential of social media when no one else believed in it. He bet on Instagram, WhatsApp, and the metaverse before these platforms became essential. In the financial world, big investors are always one step ahead, entering promising markets before the masses. Lesson: those who invest early in big trends of the future is always ahead of the curve and multiplies your chances of financial success. The final decision is in your hands. Now that you know the Mark Zuckerberg's financial and strategic secrets, the question remains, what will you do with this knowledge? You can continue living on autopilot, following the traditional path that most people follow and getting the same results. Or you can start apply these strategies, change your financial mindset, and build a prosperous future. The difference between those who achieve success and those who spend their lives stagnant is the action. What you do now determines where you will be in the years to come. If this content made sense to you, continue your learning journey and apply these principles to transform your financial life forever.